Hello and welcome to MCFC 9320 PUBcast. Good evening, Stan.
Good evening, Andrew.
Good evening, Patrick.
Evening, Andrew.
And good evening, everybody in the chat. Listen, obviously, there's going to be a lot of meltdown by fans alike. I'm just going to give a couple of things what's on my mind, and we'll work through them. Right. So yeah, it can be said if we'd have put our chances away, that decision, that corruption, wouldn't have even been spoken about. I don't think we're playing brilliantly overall. Individually we're having some good performances. Collectively, not great. I don't want it to be a knee-jerk reaction after a defeat, but let's get straight into. And by the way, I'm sick when people are calling that referee. Stop calling him bald. I know he is bald, but you can't call people bald anymore. So
what? Even people?
Even who? Stan? See, Stan's frozen again. He's let it go. Yeah. So I want to talk. Let's kick off, Paddy, with that absolute corrupt decision, because I'm only going to use the word corrupt for it, because I'm not having it when people say, yeah, referees make the odd rick and stuff like that. However, he quite clearly played on. He saw Grealish, was clear, and then pulled it back. You can see that, and I've actually seen people on Twitter since I come home, sort of like people who don't normally comment about stuff like that, what have slaughtered the referee today. Even people like Henry Winter, who's normally chilled. Henry's even come out and said he's not called it corruption, but they word it differently, don't they? Because they're more professional than me. What was the reaction in the studio and stuff like that? Because obviously I'm not taking the mickey, by the way. Obviously I was there, so I've not seen the reaction like in the studio after the game. I've seen Pep's comments, but I've not seen. Not that it matters, but I'm just
he made a mistake, and that's about the end of it. So we make it an apology there off web on Monday morning. Pep make it a phone call and say, tell the sport he's sorry, but I don't understand. One second.
I was going to say, I'll be honest with you there. I mean, okay, he did what he did. We created enough chances. This is what annoys us, that we created enough chances to win. As we said before, we could have been 4 up at half time. There's no, we've hit the bar, we've hit the post, we've done everything else. And what will take it away from that match more than anything is the referee. Now, whether we won or not, I think a draw was a pretty fair result. I don't think, the defending was bad enough to concede 3. There's no reliable way saying that Jack Grealish would have scored if he got through like that. He could have ballooned it and gone 50 yards up in the air. What annoys me, now this is the point, what annoys me is he wasn't given that chance to balloon it 50 yards. And what happened there, right? No matter what Henry Winter says, no, what that PMG did, that was cheating. That was cheating.
Stan, I tell you something. No, Stan, just let me stop you. For you to say that, normally you're quite balanced, even though you look shocked now, what everyone can say.
He's normally quite frozen.
Yeah, Stan's not normally as an alternative view for devil's advocate. So that shocked me what Stan's actually said there about the cheating.
It was out and out cheating, that decision. It was quite clear the referee waved play on. So why then, when we're full on attack, in the position to score, does he then pull it back? It is out and out cheating, and it's cost us in a couple of ways, because Haaland got booked when really he shouldn't have done, and we could have won the game. I think the referee was a disgrace in that second half.
No, I absolutely agree. But yeah, quite rightly, we're gonna speak about that incident. But I don't want to sugarcoat it because we what Jack's put there. I get what Jack's saying. The lack of character to see the games out was unacceptable. 10 goals conceded in 4 games. The problem lies deeper than injuries and hunger. The hunger isn't there, or the desire to win football matches. I think Jack's right there. In my I do. There's something not quite right. I'm not gonna dig.
But again, I'm looking here. I'm looking at the comments, and is it Jack? I can't. It's gone up now. But said that Daniel, sorry, that the atmosphere was amazing. No, it wasn't.
It's better than it was against Liverpool.
Yeah, it is, but it wasn't amazing.
Right. So listen, I'm not going to dig individual players out because I don't believe in digging individual players out.
I'll do that for you.
That's entirely up to you. I'm saying at the moment we just don't. We look like a team what's in transition between playing 2 different styles of football, styles like last season and a new kind of style now. We're at that middle ground in a minute where we need Rodri needs help in that midfield. It does.
Yeah, Akanji isn't made for that position.
Stan's not made for this.
It's very simple. Akanji is not made for that position in the midfield.
Nope.
He dawdles on the ball and quite often gets caught. And there was times today when I wondered if our team actually spoke to each other during the game, because a couple of occasions it was easy to shout man on to the likes of Alvarez, to the likes of Bernardo, and they were getting caught on the ball because nobody was telling them that somebody was coming behind them. Yeah.
No, you're absolutely right. It's these things. What I say. Listen, the past few games have not been. Oh, they've been good for the neutral and stuff like that. However, we're not City-like at the minute. There's something not quite right with the way we're setting up.
We conceded 4 against Chelsea, 2 against Leipzig, 1 against Liverpool, and 3 today. That's not good enough.
You could say we was unlucky against Liverpool. I thought we played all right against Liverpool. We should have had a goal, but it's all if, buts, and maybes. It's not happened. We've been very, very wasteful. But what I can't really get my head round, I'm seeing people now.
I'll be back.
Are you Arnold Schwarzenegger? I'll be back. I'm actually seeing now, Stan, people having a go at Haaland. Oh, he should be putting these away. He should be putting these away. History's repeating itself. They did it with Sterling. Oh, look at these chances he's missing. Listen, he's a human being who's going to miss chances. He's a human being who's going to have a bad day at the office. It all happens. But you can go back to the referee. If I'd have done something like that in my job, what the referee did, I would expect to be suspended and potentially sacked for gross misconduct.
Yeah, I was saying that. Said that on the website. There's we are going through a bit of a change. There's no doubt about that. But then again, today we didn't have a world-class commanding winger like Riyad Mahrez to pull us around from 2-0 down at our time that we were against Tottenham to go in there. Now, we were always knew that a 21-year-old Doku, he's not got that experience yet of winning anything big. He was awful, and Paddy was right, so was Edison. We're making individual mistakes that will get ironed out, and it is really costing us at the moment. I don't understand why people having a pop at Ireland. He misses chances, but people miss chances, don't they? Keepers don't make saves, they should make.
Absolutely, mate. So I just don't want. I know it's all out of my control. little me. I just don't want people to start. I don't want happy clappers, because everything's wonderful in the world. But I also don't want, after a few poor performances, digging players out like it's been happening with Grealish. People have started questioning Kovacic. Now Haaland. There's just something. This is the time everybody needs to stick together because, we've seen the best of City. And what we're seeing is not bad, but we need to get behind them because I'm just seeing little splinters again. And these little splinters I saw last season before the charges come in. When them charges come in, the whole club and fans went, we're as one.
I was going to suggest that, Andy. We need another 120 charges against us so we can all rally around and fight the 250 charges. I mean, the thing here that Spencer's Mark says, not referee's fault that we can't finish teams off. He's right. And
absolutely.
None of that today was the ref's fault, the way we played, the mistakes we made, when we've hit the bar, when we've hit the post and all that. No, none of that is the referee's. But what grates you, and I'll never stop saying this, is when he makes the conscious decision to cheat. And it is cheating. There's no getting around that. There was no evidence come from a liner or the fourth official to say, hang on a minute, there could be a problem there. You know, as you do at the moment, they let them score or miss, then they go back, and then they check VAR and all things like that. There was none of that.
Stan, just before you froze the last time, I touched upon that. I don't know if you heard. Normally, you give a different alternative view, a bit of devil's advocate. I've never heard you call a referee a cheat or anything like that. I've never, ever. So for you to use that word, what you've seen today, I think that speaks volumes about what's actually happened.
Yeah, I always try and look at things that people make mistakes, but that's not a mistake. He didn't. He gave it and then changed his mind so fast. Something's happened there in his own head. Nobody else, himself, and that's on him. And as you said, like if anybody else had go to work and did something like that, they'd be in the office the next day for gross misconduct. You can't. All it does is put more pressure on other referees. People don't trust referees as it is at the moment. He does that, you're not going to trust the next referee. You're not going to trust PUBcast, the referees union. You're not going to trust them. There's going to be no trust. And whilst it takes 1,000 years to build up trust, it takes 3 minutes to destroy it. And these guys have completely and utterly destroyed it. Completely. Yeah. And then when you hear things like Master and all that saying that City can't win this league for the fourth year on the run, why not? Why can't a club do this? Are you artificially?
They don't want us to, mate.
Well, it fans fuel. What is it? It fans the fuel to the flames of the conspiracy theorists. That's all it's doing.
Yeah,
it's not putting football in a good light. He's single-handedly. He's I don't know. It's like if a manager said something bad about somebody, but it's not just that. Haaland is now has got a yellow card. He could well miss an important game because he's turned around and called the cheating bastard. He's right.
But there was double standards from the referee throughout the game.
Of course it is. Yeah.
Early in the first half, we'd won a throw-in. The Tottenham player disagreed and then kicked the ball away.
Yeah.
And yet Jack did it in the second half when he came on. And he's booked, and it means that he won't play on Wednesday night.
Yeah. I mean, Scoot Roden, I'm going to play devil's advocate. The ref will claim it was offside, which it wasn't. So he changed it to advantage, which it wasn't. Well, it was, because he's got through. There was nobody, he got through. He broke the line. I would love to have heard the VAR on that one. This is the point, though. I would love to have heard the VAR on that. There was no VAR. There was nothing. That's the problem.
And it wouldn't have been down to the referee anyway. It'd have been down to the linesman anyway. So the referee won't call it an offside. It's just I don't want to get too hung up on it because I truly believe we should have put our chances away. That game, we should have put that to bed. But this will only exactly what you said, Stan. This is only going to highlight now, and I'll keep saying it. I'll keep saying the word corruption. It's corrupt. For that to happen, how about the referee blow straight away? Because if he blows as soon as Ireland went like that, you can sort of understand it. But he looked up and he was, oh, Grealish is through.
See, that was after him raising his hand. He waved play it on. He put his hand up and just play it on. And then when Grealish went through, he blew it up.
I agree with Dunk there as well, you know.
Nothing Booker.
No, in a way, like nothing to do with the ref. Take the chances, kill the game off. We were like two different teams first, second half. I actually thought Jack brought us a lot of control in the second half, what we have been lacking. And forget all this Jack versus Doku rubbish. I'm sick to death of hearing Jack versus Doku. They're both City players. They both offer two different things. Jack can do things Doku can't do, and vice versa. So today in the second half, I thought Jack played really, really well, and I was absolutely buzzing that he scored that goal. I really, really was, because he's took a lot of pelters from some City fans, and I just think it's disgusting. It really is. But I'm not going to harp on about that. So the game overall, I was surprised Nathan Ake didn't start. There's a few things what puzzled, even Foden being taken off. I was scratching my head with that one. But I thought Nathan, I know it's easy to say after a game as finished and la-di-da-di-da. Nathan Ake is a Rolls Royce of a player. And when he come on, he was superb, Nathan Ake. Yet again, he never lets us down. Gvardiol still needs time to settle in. So there's just a few things today. Obviously, Pep knows more than me. But there's a couple of questionable things there today. To be fair, I thought Diaz looked very, very good again today. And that is no coincidence because he played on the left side of the centre-backs. We didn't play poor today. We were sloppy at times.
Yeah. We didn't finish chances and gave up goals too easy. That was it. That was it that was it. Big Morgs there's nailed it. Absolutely nailed it. Go on, Andy, you say it.
Yeah, Big Morg says, I hate to say the ref was as poor as Stan's internet. That bad.
You're out there, Morgs. Fair play.
I wasn't surprised he took Foden off in the second half.
Like if them chances had them in, we wouldn't be having this conversation about corrupt refs or whatever. What's more concerning is the amount of goals we're leaking.
And do you want to know what I'm glad I'm actually seeing from the guys in the chat as well tonight? It's not just all about that, and this is fair, full credit. We're seeing beyond that one decision today, because I think we all accept we're not playing brilliantly. Yeah. We're not playing badly. It's, as I say, the only way I can think of it is we're in between them two playing styles at the minute. We don't quite know whether we're going to be going attacking or whether we're going to be sitting like we normally do. Listen, we normally boss midfields. People are walking through our midfield at the moment, and that's very, very un-City-like.
Because Rodri's in there on his own.
That's what I'm saying.
I tell you what, though, I think, I hate saying this, but I think Roy Keane's got a fair point that we've been that high. Our levels have been so high for so long. When we dip down to just drawing with Liverpool or drawing with Chelsea or drawing with Tottenham, it's like the end of the world. Those levels, those performance levels can't last. They can't last. They've been unbelievable for so long. Is it frustrating? Of course it's frustrating. We want to win every game. We want to do that. But you've got to put in a little dose of realism sometimes that players get knackered. They do get knackered, no matter what anyone says. When you're playing and concentrating to the level that Pep's at, it ain't easy. You will have lapses. I mean, we've lost to Brentford home and away last year. Every single season you can go. We lost to Tottenham a couple of years ago. They won 3-2 in the last minute. there's always games. There's always 3, 4, 5 games in a year where we sort of like blow up, and we're having them at the moment. But we're still, what is it, third? We're still within a win of Arsenal, and this is not like us at all. We're not normally this good come the end of the beginning of December. We're normally thinking, right, well, hang on a minute. As long as we stay in with these 6 points, we've got a game up. And like you say, Martin Chadwick's right there. We'll be glad when we get 40 points. The point is, we're probably a little bit further ahead than we thought anyway. So,
yeah, no, there is that. Right, Anne-Marie, what'll come to you now? What would you have started with a defence today? Come on, hurry up. Hurry up.
I'd have started with Aki. And probably the defence as it was, I would have started with Aki.
Yeah. Listen, Edison should have done better for their first goal. No two ways about it. However, he's been brilliant this season, Edison, in my opinion.
Yeah, maybe we should take a step back to Doku in that move.
That's what I'm going to say. However, players are going to make mistakes. We shouldn't hang players out for making a mistake. I know you make plenty of mistakes during your job, Anne-Marie, your boss said, but you're right, Stan.
Yeah, I'm just having a quick stroke.
Jesus.
How can you delete a thought? No, but you know what I mean? We've got to see beyond digging players out. This is the time where it's quite evident they do need us. Pep's had a bit of a dig at the crowd not being great the past couple of games, etc.
There's no other manager but the fans, only Pep. There's 19 other managers in that league. Not one of them gets asked about the fan base, only Pep. Why is that?
But he doesn't have to answer the stuff like he does he?
He's his own man, isn't he, Pep? He'll use any tool in the trade, any trick in the book to get the club up and going.
Even though he had a nasty hangover today, I still thought the atmosphere was all right. It was all right today. It's probably the best I've seen it for a bit. I don't know. There's just something. I can't put my finger on it. It's just something not right at the minute.
I think it's like Stan says, we don't normally come good day after Christmas. So, like, playing this way, when we haven't hit top gear, we're 3 points off the top. What more do you want?
I'll tell you what, as well, I'll give you 2 names why we're not clicking as we were at the back end of last season. And I defy anyone to come up with a club that's going to sign 2 new players better than the 2 players that we will be getting back, Kev De Bruyne and John Stones. I think one thing, that control of the midfield, the little balls through, the right amount of weight that sees the ball going in the net rather than going a couple of inches wide. That's what De Bruyne does. That's his stock trade. He can put the right amount of weight on the right ball at the right time to make it a tap-in. We ain't quite got that. We're misfiring because we've got one of the world's best midfielders not playing. We've not got Stones next to Rodri. Well, of course we're not going to be quite as good and quite as dominant. Whether we like it or not, they're 2 players that any team in the country, if they had them in theirs, they'd be in the bottom half.
Stephen's got a great point there. As much as we want to see Ireland play every single minute of every single game, it's like people talk about him like he's superhuman. He's not. And that's what I'm saying about, he didn't have a great game today. You know, he missed a couple of chances. It is going to happen. Everybody is going to happen. But when he does have a bad game, let's get behind. And I'm not being a happy clapper. Listen, anybody who knows me, they know I say what's on my mind. But it's getting to the point now where we're starting to dig players out, and it don't sit right with me.
I'm going to be a bit bitchy here. Ireland's going to have enough time off next summer anyway, Annie, so I won't worry about that.
Yeah, no, there is that because he's not going to be in the World Cup. However, you know, listen, not trying to tell you all out of stock eggs and stuff like that. However, if you're tired, you know, you're more likely to pick injuries up, aren't you, Anne-Marie?
Yeah. But I think we've got to look, because I know what you're saying about Haaland, but then I look at Alvarez and last week against Liverpool, I thought he was off the pace, and then came on Tuesday and had a really good game when he came on. And again today, he looked a little bit off the pace for me. And that's not digging him out. That's just an observation of the game. You know, because...
and there's nothing, you know, something. There's nothing up with an observation of the game. Listen, that's what opinions, social media, shows like this is all about discussing it. When I'm saying digging players out, we saw it early season, all throughout social media with the Haaland docu debate. That is digging players out. This is just discussing, oh yeah, he or whatever game we're watching, he or she's not had a good game today. La-di-da-di-da. Listen, sometimes we don't have good shows. More often than not, we don't. But it happens. You know, there might be a perfect performance from Stan one week where his internet don't go off. You know, we don't know.
We don't know.
Yeah, but I would say, I think you're giving people like who dig players out or have a goal for the sake of having a goal. I think you give them too much credence. Like any kind of logical Man City fan with half a brain knows players have highs and lows. You know, like it's just these people calling out players for having a bad game or whatever. Well, why give them credence or why even discuss them? Because they're not. It doesn't make sense at any level, logically or illogically. It just he's entitled to have a bad game, and then they'll use the argument, oh, he's on 400,000 a week, he's on 500,000 a week. Well, anybody who knows anything about sports nutrition would know that's BS. 400 grand a week doesn't make you run any faster or your body recover any faster. It still needs rest and nutrition. And now they have the best of the best, obviously, but still, like they still need to be rested as well. And they're playing every third game now at the stage. Like they're Villa now at Wednesday night, is it?
Yeah. You're out there, Paddy. They get paid 300-400 grand a week because they can do something at a level so high nobody else can do. Mm-hmm. If we could all do it, they'd be on about 25 grand a year. They're not. And then, as the old Indian proverb says, you can't, once the oil's gone, once everything's gone, you can't eat money. Now, that money, you're not getting 300 grand a week so that you can eat the money. It'll make you go, 20 miles an hour faster. It'll make you do six times more tackles and all things like that. It's you're dealing with humans, and you're dealing with humans at such a level that they are elite. Every single player in that Premier League is elite. Don't care who they are. Don't care what you think. They're up there because they're in one of the probably top 3,000 footballers in the whole world. And just because we play for the Dog and Duck or the
even Jordan Pickford,
whatever, doesn't mean
Anana.
Oh, yes, even Anana. Yeah, I tell you what, there was somebody last year moaning about Mahrez. At least he scored 2 goals, and we beat Tottenham last year 4-2.
Right, listen.
You know what? I've been there to get that one in, Amber. Don't worry about it.
That's all right, Stan.
No, and I tell you what, there's an old saying: you don't know what got until it's gone.
Yeah, that's right.
We've seen that with Gundo. We've seen that with Mahrez.
We saw it with Gareth Bale.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, and to a certain extent, we saw it with Sterling as well. You know, listen. Subs 2's got it right there. If a player has one bad game, social media goes mental. The young fans, and trolls go crazy, and it makes it impossible to have a simple football debate. And that's it, because it's like, whether it's a show like this or any other shows and stuff like that, it can come across that. And I do think shows like this, yeah, we might not attract hundreds of thousands of viewers and stuff like that, but I still think we've got a responsibility to try and keep it level-headed, rather than I'm just going to go bananas and like a gold bridge, and just to get all the views and stuff like that. I'd rather have minimal views and have a good show than something like a gold bridge show. I really, really would. And that's
quality over quantity.
Absolutely, mate. And so subs right there. So hopefully, shows like this, and there is one or two others who do have, decent debates and stuff like that. But let's get a bit of calmness.
I mean, this is the whole thing, isn't it? Today, we're not hanging the referee or hanging him out to dry because we didn't win.
I'd like to.
That's nothing to do with it. Even if we'd have won, to make a decision like that is just, you can't be doing it. You really can't be doing it.
I think Pep should ask for a replay.
It's like Super City says there, did the ref see Grealish? I think he may not have done, as he was shielded by the defenders. Only the referee will be able to.
No, they had the camera angle, didn't they, from the goal, from the back of from the goal, looking down the pitch. He saw what happened. He saw everything what went on. And this is the other thing that annoyed me. The referee, the liner, kept his flag down. So yeah, it was a nonsense. It was a nonsense. He made that decision individually, and he's going to have to carry the can for it. Yeah,
Ben says a ridiculous referee. Not sure what was going on in his head. However, I'd be more bothered if it was, if it was only us. Every team is getting their pants pulled down by the incompetent referees and officials at the moment. Absolutely, mate. And it will come. Well, you sort of seen a little bit of it now, where you're getting clubs going against each other. Because what's happened with Everton, 10 points, which I think is an absolute disgrace, by the way. I really, really do. However, you're getting teams like Burnley and Leeds wanting to go suing Everton now. Where is it going to end?
It's not. It's got so much money involved now. Some of them owners want that money, and they do not want to do the investment. You just look at it as a cash cow, and it ain't. There is a degree of competition, or there's meant to be a degree of competition in there.
Yeah,
and they don't want to do that bit. They don't want to do the hard work. They just want to get the money at the end of the year.
Højbjerg should have had a second yellow as well.
Yeah. They don't want to go out and get the best scouts. They don't want to, go out there and get the best people doing the job, the doctors and things like that. You only have to actually look at it on LinkedIn, and clubs are asking for people with degrees, BScs, things like that. Highly qualified people in their role to go and work for them for 25 grand. It's like, ain't going to happen, mate. Just not going to happen. And that's what they want to get. That's what they want to get away with. They use facilities that the public were using. They don't pay up. They're absolutely. I mean, Berry went under because they didn't pay the bills.
Yeah.
They just want to get away with it, and they're getting greedier and greedier. And this is where we're getting now. We've got to the point now where clubs are thinking, I can get away with that. I want that. I want a piece of that. Don't want to put the work in. Don't want to spend a bit of money on making sure that my club is fit for my fans, or my stadium is fit for my fans. It's only an hole in the roof. Doesn't matter.
An hole in the roof. Anne-Marie, see what Super City's put here. And this is what I love about opinions and stuff like that. Foden was shocking today. I thought Foden was our best player.
Well, I'm half with Super City and half with you. In the
You're gonna get
first
split
half,
your ass, love.
in the first half, Foden was really good. In the second half, it became anonymous.
I thought Bernard, but like some of the comments what I've already put up on the screen, Foden has got to play centrally. He really has to play centrally. I think he's wasted on the right wing. I really do.
See, one thing I've not understood is why hasn't Pep played? Go on, sorry, Paddy. Our joke's in there.
I'm just saying, like, what? Obviously, Pep feels he can't do that role, or he doesn't trust him in that role. Like he keeps playing him out on the right hand side or the left hand side, but he never plays him where. But even Foden says he preferred position as playing out on the right hand side. He doesn't. He wants to play there. He doesn't want to play in the centre of the park.
Facebook user there. Referees need to be mic'd up. Yeah, they do, mate. I really would like to hear them mic'd up because I'm telling you, if you heard what was going on, why did they not release it like they do in rugby? Why don't you have a constant stream of saying, right, you drop back, you go that? What is going on there, Facebook user? Yeah, you know, if you hear what's going on in this game, it might silence some of the armchair referees and corruption conversations in their track. Might actually open your eyes to realise what is going on. And there is a lot of problems there.
That's why
so why don't we make it up?
Don't want it. That's why they don't want it.
They don't want it. It's exactly. They don't want it because we'll hear what's going on. Not having that Facebook user, absolute rubbish.
No, it's their opinion.
It's rubbish.
It's their opinion, though, mate.
Oh, it's their opinion. Like that referee today, his opinion was that it was all right to suddenly come out with some new rule book. Nah. If you're going to start doing stuff like that, at least be sensible.
So, on against Villa,
winds me right up. That winds me right up.
Someone needs to take the batteries out of you, or disconnect your internet tonight.
Oh, I'll tell you, it annoys me. Nobody's saying that we didn't deserve to win today. Nobody's saying we haven't got problems. We all know that. What we want is a bit of consistency from these lunatics that seem to be running the game at the moment.
Anne-Marie, do you run the game?
No.
What are you on about then, Stan?
But you what, sorry? Say that again.
You said these
lunatics, Stan.
You said these lunatics running the game, so I said to Anne-Marie, do you run the game?
Anne-Marie's not a lunatic.
Thank you, Stan.
Just can't spot a good winger.
See, Elliot's put Stones in for Rodri, Aki in for Guardiola, 3 points behind the bottlers, get your heads up and move on. Spot on. I don't agree with this bit. Spot on, Stan, mate. Players aren't robots. They're not. And, we need to understand that. And like you have said, just because I'm on 400 grand a week, well, if I wish I was, don't make me run faster. Don't make me more skillful.
I tell you what, if I was on 400 grand a week, I'd run faster.
I know, but anybody could go from... No, I'm not going to say it.
No.
Hey, well, that was the other thing. Why hasn't he played Alvarez up on the wing? Because he can play there. He did play in Argentina on the wing at times. Put Foden in the middle and Alvarez on the right. But then again, where'd you put in Bernardo Silva?
But if Pep's hell bent, Paddy, on keeping Phil on the right, let's put Jack as a number 10 right down the middle.
I don't know. Well, for me, it's not going to be applicable now in Wednesday night because he's banned. But somebody from the front five needs sacrificed, and then Rodri needs support. Should that be Matteo or... So that could be Phillips anyway, unfortunately. Phillips should be gone in January. It just hasn't worked out for the lad for whatever reason, which is unfortunate because if you look at it from Phillips' point of view, he's going into work day in, day out, training, doing everything he needs to do, knowing deep down that he's not going to get picked. Like, that's soul destroying. And that's gone on for the last 18 months or more. I know he was injured for a spell, but
it begs the question, though. It begs the question, Paddy, that he's had, a season and a half with the club now, and he obviously still isn't getting it. So while he might
probably won't.
No, but that's what I'm saying. He's probably a half decent player, but he was never suited to City.
No,
it was always about fulfilling a quota of English players.
I have the question.
Talking about Grealish here or Phillips, I've got lost.
Phillips.
Stanley. But good evening, Alan. Alan's put, we can't defend midfield is weak. I absolutely agree. At the moment, teams are walking through our midfield. And like I said earlier, our game was based on midfield. If we lose the ball, 5 seconds to get it back. That's what it's not at the moment. So, yeah, listen, for the best will in the world, like you said earlier, Paddy, we've only really got Rodri in there. Now, it just shows Rodri's importance. But last season we had Gundo there, who played that role brilliantly. But what we brought in, Kovacic, he's been injured, he's been in and out. So I'm not going to judge Kovacic. Listen, the fella's been around. He's won four Champions Leagues, and he's been at some top clubs, and also Chelsea. Nunes has been in and out. We've not seen the best of Nunes. But is it going to get to the stage in January? I think Alex put there, City will spend in January. I totally agree now. Will it be? We know Phillips will be going in January. Now, do we bring another midfielder in because De Bruyne is going to be there or thereabouts by the time January comes? Hopefully, Nunes will be fully up to speed. Hopefully, Kovacic will be fully up to speed. We know Stonesy can play in there. I thought Rico did all right when he came on today, in that position.
He's very late from midfield.
Out of curiosity, Alec, who would you sign in January? There's no wrong answer there. It's just, like Andy said, where would we, if Phillips goes, where would we strengthen? Who would we buy in? Who would we? I don't know.
The other thing is who's coming in, because whoever's coming in is coming in to sit on the bench. Simple as that.
Well, not really. If Rodri keeps getting suspensions, and I'm not even blaming Rodri because, like I said earlier, fatigue kicks in. Your tackles get a bit slower, so you're going to pick more yellow cards up. So you're going to miss more matches, and that's it. We're burning Rodri out. We need somebody who can play side by side with him, because the last thing I want is De Bruyne to come back and us burn De Bruyne out. We do need an alternative. Now, I think the alternative is Foden. But Pep knows more than us. There's a reason why Pep isn't picking Foden in the centre of midfield for whatever reason.
Do you think Foden could do a job like Rodri, even 70% of what Rodri does?
No, listen, it's like a duo. For every De Bruyne, you need a Rodri. So you've got a Rodri there, and you've got a bit of creativity in Foden. Foden can do things what other players can. So I thought the whole idea of letting Gundo really go, and obviously Pep tried to keep him on, in the last minutes, but Foden is just in my head. Foden is a ready-made replacement to just sit in there.
Nick doesn't want to be in there. He said that himself.
Tough. I don't want to go to work in the morning, but I'm going to have to. If he wants to play in the team, he wants to play in the team. Like, questions are being asked about Gvardiol. People are saying always, he's not a left back. He don't want to play left back. I don't know if anybody caught the preview for the Champions League. Did you, Anne-Marie, where Gvardiol was there? He actually said his preferred position is left back. So when people say, "Oh, that's our opinion," that a player, he don't want to play in that position. He's actually said that's his preferred position. But at the minute, and we have to forget the £80 million price tag. Forget it. It's not down to a player, the price tag. That is down to the clubs to sort out. At the moment, Nathan Ake is arguably our best defender.
Absolutely.
So,
well, apart from Stones.
Yeah, but Stones is in and out injured. Ake is so consistent at what he does. I thought he was brilliant when he came on today. I really, really did. He brought a bit of calmness, as did Jack. I think Ake and Jack play each other brilliantly on that left hand side. They've got that.
Do you know why? Grealish runs back.
Yeah, he does.
And Doku does weird. You probably didn't see this because you were at the match today, but both Haaland and Silva reared on him, Doku, and they were waving at him, get up there and press, because he wasn't working hard enough.
Another thing in all that, if Doku thought that was tracking back, he had the strength of a wet tissue. Absolutely useless. You won't get that off Jack Grealish. Jack Grealish will be in there digging and, carrying away and making the lad work for it.
But everyone wants Doku in ahead of Grealish. Why?
Does everybody want Doku ahead of Grealish?
That's all you see. For me,
but that's Twitter, that, isn't it, Andy? That's Twitter. That is Twitter. Now, this Daniel lad before, he said Alvarez is no midfielder. He'd like to see him. He's better in the attacking third. I agree with him there. Yeah. And I think that would then give Foden the chance to just sit in behind Haaland and create those through balls in the middle. The next thing then that you start looking at is like, we've got two of the greatest piano players and piano shifters going, Rodri and De Bruyne. Mm-hmm. And you've got to get that mix right. And at the moment, the mix isn't quite right. We know that for one reason and another. But it's just, it's again, there's another true thing. It does feel like a defeat, but we didn't lose. We're still not lost. When was the last time we lost at home?
Oh, Stan. Oh, you've got to answer FIFA's question here, mate. Your comment says they're all elite. Go on.
I said they're in the top 3,000 players in the world. Whether you like it or not, he is in there. He is in there.
He's actually saving United at the minute.
Yeah. I tell you what, though. I mean, no, it's a great point, but I tell you what, we'll go back on that and we'll have a look and say, right, well, okay, then. Let's look at City. Did they work hard enough today? If you want a team that doesn't work, go and look at United against Newcastle. Rashford couldn't be bothered tracking back.
Yeah, I saw that. That was
shocking. That team was shocking. And yet, they are still better than, just about better than your local dog and duck. It's a shame. It's a shame they won't have him in the third round. I agree with you there, Alec Johnson. I'm still relaxed. It's just then refs. I hate them.
Listen, there's no panic, Anne-Marie, is it? It's just...
No, not at all. We know we're a second half of the season team. So I think we're just in that position now. We get through Villa on Wednesday. We play Luton next week. And then we're off to the World Club Champions.
I thought you were going to say we're off to see the Wizard then.
No, you know what I was going to say. I just don't know what the competition's actually called.
The Club World Cup. Listen, I couldn't give a
no, but that's after the Luton game. That's where we're off to, isn't it?
Yeah.
So we know that we'll stick it out there for a week or two, however long that goes on for. We'll come back. We'll get Christmas out the way, and then we'll just go on like we always do. Bearing in mind we've got the players coming back. And we might add in January, which might change everything again.
Yeah, listen, this maybe this Club World Cup might do us a favour by just getting away from the hustle and bustle of it all. You know, a nice warm climate in Saudi. You're right there, Stan.
Yeah. I'm just hoping that's where Kev De Bruyne might start getting a couple of actual minutes under his belt.
No,
even if it's 10 minutes in the semi or something.
He's lost a pile of weight. He's looked shocking, actually.
Has it, or is it that long coat what he wore? Is Frank Spencer?
No, his whole face. Look at his face. It's all gone in.
Who's this?
De Bruyne, huh?
Yeah, saw that picture. Yeah.
Look, he looks sick.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I would say the club keep a good eye on that kind of thing. So I'm not overly concerned at the minute, Paddy.
Yeah. But
I reckon, can you imagine what he's going to be like when he comes back without carrying all that excess poundage? He's going to go super elite.
He'll be carrying our midfield.
Not with them legs, bloody snap.
Listen, it might not be a bad thing, you know. I agree with Anne Marie. It's nothing to worry about because the club and all the science is what go behind it. You know, and let's not forget, he's actually had an operation. Normally, a hamstring is, just chill out for, let it heal for 6 weeks. Totally different a hamstring operation.
I'm just laughing at you there saying about the hamstring that, take it easy. He was sat in the pub for 6 weeks. I mean, roasters, smoky bacon crisps and a few pints. That kind of relaxing.
And let's not forget as well,
sorry, go back a couple on them things. I was forgetting who it was. I don't want to. That's it. There, beyond belief. We've struggled with counters for a long time. There's no getting away with that. That is our Achilles heel, and I think one or two teams are starting to get a little bit frisky, thinking that they can get us on that.
Liverpool did it last week. That's the only thing Liverpool had to offer.
Chelsea did it.
I think Liverpool ever do.
Even United had a go at it, but that is definitely our Achilles heel. But that has always been our Achilles heel for a long time.
Yeah. So it's not all doom and gloom. It's
Jesus, we drew a couple of matches. Big deal.
And we've got the festive season to look forward to. Peace and goodwill to all men.
And women, and it, and them.
Listen, Paqueta, that's not the answer. I honestly don't think
not going to happen.
That is not going to happen, in my humble opinion.
He's the next one for a 10 months ban.
I think we just need to all calm our skin and we'll be all right. There's too much.
I think there's so much going on at the minute, Andy, that I think we're not, as a whole, the club isn't sure which way to look. So if you just think about Everton being docked 10 points, which was, we all agree is crazy. But at the same time, it's now, again, it's brought up our 115 charges. And you've got people saying, well, why is Everton sorted so quickly and City still isn't? And the same with, surely, I think it was in one of today's papers, surely it'll be a points deduction and relegation for City. So all this is rearing its head again. And we're in a position where, as much as we I do believe we're innocent, because I don't think Khaldoon would blatantly lie.
I don't. I think they cooked the books. I think every one of them teams, the Premiership and the Championship and every other league, cooks the books.
Do you want to know what I think? This is just my own opinion. All these clubs went against us. Yeah, they wasn't thinking for 1 minute there's going to be deductions and let's not forget Everton was one of them clubs as well, as was Newcastle. I think Newcastle are actually thinking now, bloody hell, we went against City.
I don't think Everton have had the nasty nine.
No. The other thing with all is, it was pointed out at the time when Calhoun did that end of season, and he effectively said, I can't say anything at the moment, but we know where the bones are and we know where the bodies are. So think on. And Pep come out with it, didn't he, when he listed the 9?
And there's no way as well. There's no way after the charges come in, we're still going to carry on spending the money we have if we thought we're going to be found guilty. Listen, I've no doubts about it. We will be. It'll all be quashed. That it really.
And I agree with you, Andy. But I do think that at this moment in time, we're a sitting duck for everybody. You've seen it yourself this last week with Simon Jordan on. I don't want to say the name.
He got that 100% wrong.
My peroxide friend.
Mm.
Yeah, I tell you what, it's always worth listening to what he says. He's obviously, he obviously knows what he's doing. As Palace found out.
Yeah, the failed Crystal Palace owner. Yeah.
Mm.
But it's in the paper every day about our charges and whatever. And unfortunately, these people are just seeing the number and the word charges. They're not actually looking at what some of these charges are. So, for example, one of the charges against us is that our beer isn't carbonated enough on the concourse.
What?
Well, yeah, that's exactly it, Paddy.
Hang on a minute. We went through this last week. Not last week, the week before. Paddy's head's going to explode here. What it was some of those rules were just carried on from the year before, but they'd actually moved. So
I know, but ultimately, Stan, whether they've moved or whatever, these are the charges. The fact that the grass wasn't long enough.
Yeah, no,
is another one.
They were at the beginning, but it was when it was pointed out by City's lawyers, and they went back to them. Are you sure?
I know, but
went, oh no, hang on a minute, it's wrong.
The point is, they've come up and they've said there's 115 charges, regardless whether they're right or wrong, or apply at the right time or the wrong time. At no point is anybody coming out and saying, all right, well, you've said 115 charges, but straight off the bat, we've wiped out 50 of them. And at this moment in time, we're being beaten with a stick that, isn't right. And we've got to kind of, at some point, I know the club and the owners doesn't want to kind of make enemies, if you like. They want to be seen as nice guys. But
sorry, I was just laughing there when he said, it's gone 9 o'clock now, can I swear?
Mm-hmm. Well, I think any City fan thinks that we're not going to get banned for Dr. Appliances living in Cuckoo Land. Right. Because if you think the Premier League is going to lose face over Man City, you're delusional.
They'll come after us, no doubt about it. But do you want to know what my opinion is on all this, right? There's too many social media lawyers. There's people on social media, Joe Blogs, who's actually seen all this evidence against City.
They all seem to be Liverpool fans as well, don't they, for some odd reason?
With the greatest of respect, us four don't know anything about it because it's not our field. We don't know. We can only speculate like every fan up and down the country. But regardless, when we win, I've got trust in the owners that they know everything. I've got total trust in them. So when we do win these charges against us, we won't ever lose that brush, the remark of, oh, you still cheat, you just bought whoever off. We won't.
That's the exact point of it, isn't it? Now it's got to that point now where the job is done. It doesn't matter. People will just hang on in there and just say, "Oh, well, you cheated." You won't be able to offer anything up. Now there are a couple out there, Presswich Blue and that Seb Borson, who are actual. Well, Seb Borson is a sports lawyer, and he correctly predicted what would happen at CAS and why. More importantly. Mm-hmm. This will get time barred because it's a UEFA rule. That wasn't a City rule. That was a UEFA rule. And as Caldoun said, it was a shame that, because if that hadn't been gone, they could have turned around and totally took that to pieces. But they wouldn't. And they waited till the last day and then argued to say, these 5 years are up. And they said, oh no, but it carried on there. Can we go a bit further back? And Cass said, no, you can't go further back. Right? You can't even go that far. You've shot your bolt. And this is UEFA getting things wrong. Now, with the charges that the PL have come up with, you're going to need an even greater degree of evidence or proof. And they haven't got it. They just have not.
I just want us to take the likes of Simon Jordan, those 9 clubs that were against us. I want the lot of them taken to the cleaners.
There's a lot of them. There's a lot of them in that mainstream media, and there's 1 or 2 of them that have slid off who think that we've forgotten who they are. We know who they are, but I don't think you can. The problem is, we can't go after them yet because nothing, the court case hasn't finished.
Yeah.
No, I know, but I think there's going to come a point, Stan, when we can go after them, and I think
I agree with you.
Our niceness, I think we have to go after them.
Yeah, and a certain Spanish-Irish Michael Delfoni and people along that ilk. It's here we go. Facebook. Now the audio is out. That proves when he blew the whistle.
Yeah, and listen, it is what it is. We'll wrap it up there for this week. Thanks for joining us. An hour late, obviously because of the match and stuff like that.
While they remember Facebook user, then do you think they're going to bring them back and play that last 2.5 minutes? Like they did with United when they gave them a penalty after they'd blown the whistle at Brighton away last year. Do you remember that?
Yeah. No, it wasn't even because Ollie was still in charge.
Yeah. BBC had put in games finished 2-2 Brighton United, and then they came back on the pitch and allowed them to take the penalty. So I'm just wondering if
listen, it's not going to happen. Right.
No.
We'll finish it there for this week. Thanks for joining us, guys. As always, it's a pleasure. Everybody in the chat, thank you very much for joining us as well. And we will do it all.
Oh, you're all posts are appreciated. I know I go off on one now and again. I know I do go off on one, but we're all passionate. We're all human.
Yep. So
and that's what the game's about.
Have a good week, all. Let's beat Villa and let's get back on track, eh? Have a good week, all. Bye now. Bye now.
Look after yourselves. Take care, folks.